Hello, my name is Sir Alfred Wallace, and I come to you from all over the world. I've spent time in the Amazon River Basin of South America. I've spent time in Indonesia and the Malay Archipelago, where I wrote a most famous novel about my travels and my studies there. I've also traveled to Australia as well. I have been a part of 4 different continents on my travels, and I have loved all of it. Despite the sickness and all of the issues and the travel in the boat, it was wonderful. I loved my adventures all around the world, and I loved my home of Great Britain as well. In my travels, I noticed and collected all sorts of specimens. From the Indonesian islands alone, I was able to acquire over 110,000 specimens to return to England with. It was quite amazing. I loved every minute of it. And in the process of collecting and observing and meeting with native peoples, I got to thinking, how did all of this diversity arise? Where did it come from? How did this come to be? And in my conclusions, I came up with a process known as natural selection. Perhaps you've heard of it before. And so in the process of studying and thinking about this, I put together my thoughts. And I sent it to a contemporary of mine. Perhaps you know him. His name is Charles Darwin. And I asked him to overlook it and see what did he think of my thoughts. What did he think about it? So what Darwin decided to do was show another scientist. And as they were disputing what to do, seeing as how, unbeknownst to me, Mr. Darwin also had a similar idea as I did, they decided to present my ideas alongside Mr. Darwin's at one of the most famous conferences in the world. However, it did not receive my consent for this, and Mr. Darwin had the privilege of speaking prior to mine. However, the fame and the recognition really does not mean that much to me in regards to evolution. I was involved in many of a cause of other types, such as social causes, injustice causes, and I was one of the most recognizable people in the world at one point after that. But in regards to evolution, I felt adaptations were the key and the driving force, as well as the land area. So the concept of island biogeography I helped to develop, in that if you have a smaller island, you're going to have more selective pressures, and that's going to affect the traits that nature selects for, those adaptations. So, that's a little bit about myself and contributions to what you now know as the theory of evolution.